auto.
Noisy brakes?
Kenfield Auto.
Due for a service?
Kenfield Auto. Kenfield Auto, the answer to all your car problems. Your service and repair specialist for your VW, Audi, Suzuki, Toyota, or just about any vehicle. Kenfield Auto, your RMI and insurance approved workshop. Follow the red and white board in the passage at 236 Brickfield Road, Overport. Call Shafi on 031 207 2399. Kenfield Auto.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Dua to be recited in the month of Rajab. Allahumma barik lana fi Rajabin wa Sha'bana wa ballighna Ramadan. O Allah, grant us blessings in the month of Rajab and Sha'ban and make us reach the month of Ramadan.
There are over 200 million orphans globally. We can't help all of them. But what if we each helped just one? The Al-Imdad Foundation now gives you an opportunity to help just one orphan from Syria or Palestine. For just 500 Rand per month, you can help safeguard the dignity of an orphan by assisting them with basic needs such as food, clothing, shelter, medical care, and attention. Our orphan sponsorship program allows you to track the progress of your orphan through regular feedback. Make a difference in the life of an orphan today. Visit alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
Radio Al-Ansar, Durban, 90.4 FM. Peter Maritzburg, 105.6 FM.
I have been searching for you for some time now. It hasn't been easy, but I'll find you somehow. I know the road is long, but if
You are listening to a live broadcast from Radio Al-Ansar, 105.6 FM.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaba bikum. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. All praises be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with an abundance of salutations to be our beloved Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. You're tuned in the BU4U Show with myself, Mehreen Mia, coming to you live from Peter Maritzburg on 105.6 FM. If you're in Durban and the surrounds, you're listening to us on 90.4 FM. And wherever you're live streaming from as well, we extend a very warm and a huge welcome to you also. I must say that today is amazing because today I'm back in studio. Yeah, we've been listening to the BU4U Show and all the other programs via StreamYard because we've had this under deep clean, etc., etc. But we are back here. So awesome. How lovely to be back in the studio. Very fresh colors and everything. Wow. Thank you so much to everybody for tuning in. Always lovely to be with you. And I hope that your Saturday is going fantastically well. We're coming to you from a very beautiful Peter Maritzburg in terms of weather. It's cool. It's not so humid. It's just very, very nice. It's lovely to be outdoors today. And you know what? it's also one of those days when I can say welcome back to my brother here, Kumalo. I'm seeing him for the first time, believe it or not, for the year, this year. And when I walked in, I said to him, Kumalo, oh my gosh, last I saw you was last year, my brother. And we started laughing. But yeah, it's lovely to be back with you, brother Kumalo. Welcome back and all the best for your 2026 as well. And yes, my brother there in Durban, brother Spoo. Thank you so much for all that you're doing there as well. Always appreciate our text run boss. I always say this. Today we're talking about your mind and your power. Amazing, amazing lineup, inshallah. But before we continue with today's program, let us listen to our salawat as always. So let's listen and we'll be tuned. Stay tuned. I'll be with you after this, inshallah. Something big is happening. Join me, Mehreen Mia, as I sit down in conversation with Dr. Imtiaz Suleiman, founder of Gift of the Givers, talking about community healing, sustainable development, and the power of collective action. Let's find out about community growth, getting some practical ways you can get involved in building your community in 2026. That's the BU4U Show with myself, Mehreen Mia, as I talk to Dr. Imtiaz Suleiman. 20 December 2025, 2 p.m. at our Peter Maritzburg Studios, only on Radio Island South.
WhatsApp us now on 060 904 1056.
اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. Oh my Lord, my sins are like the highest mountain. My good deeds are very few. They're like a small pebble. I turn to you, my heart full of shame, my eyes full of tears. Bestow your forgiveness and mercy upon me. Ya Allah, send your peace and blessings on the final prophet and his family and companions and those who follow him. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to the BU4U Show, presented and produced by myself, Mehreen Mia. And we're coming to you live from Pietermaritzburg on 105.6 FM. If you're in Durban and the surrounds, you're in 90.4 FM. Sorry, I'm just reading messages as I'm going through to you to tell me that we're not on Facebook Live. So just if you are trying to get us on Facebook Live right now, do know that we do have a technical hiccup there, but we should be on YouTube Live if I'm not mistaken. So my text is telling me yes, the YouTube Live is currently on. So if you're looking for Facebook Live, you might not see us right now, but you're welcome to tune in onto the Al Ansar's YouTube channel and you'll be able to get us there, inshallah. I mean, so yeah, today we are talking about your mind and how your mind is actually your power. And the reason we're talking about this is because remember, this show is about you. It is for you. And inshallah, for all of us to be the best of who we can be for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And one of the biggest gifts I think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us is this mind that we have. And we actually don't give any cognizance to the fact of how powerful that mind actually is. You know, our minds are the most powerful tool that we have. And it can harness any level of success in our lives, inshallah, depending, of course, on what we feed it. So our thoughts shape who we are and who we will become, as well as, you know, how it influences our physique, how it influences our emotional state. Everything is interlinked to what we need to become, how we are. And this power of the mind is almost like your tool. It is your tool to discover you as a self. It is your tool to discover your well-being. It is your tool to keep learning about you, to be the best that you can be for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But it is your tool to actually unleash your best potential. So why do we never give the mind that much thought? Yes, we need that holistic well-being, and everybody knows I'm all about that, right? But one of the main things we forget about is just this mind concept. We're worrying about the nutrition, which is absolutely key. We're worried about our physical health, which is absolutely key. The mental state, yes, but part of that mental state and well-being is part of what we consume and how we deal with the effects of our mind. Your mind is more powerful than you have ever dared to imagine. And your mind power is not something that you need to just acquire, okay? It possesses its own potential. What you feed it is what it will grow with. So you need to only become aware of that. And then you need to learn how to apply certain things to it. Minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day, you are applying things that you are learning. How do you do that? How do you apply what you are learning? How do you apply what you want to reap a reward from? How are you seeing miracles unfold that you sometimes never thought or imagined possible? The time is going to come as you keep learning the power of your mind where you are going to say, there's no ifs, there's no buts, there's no what ifs about anything. You're going to just know that through the power of my mind, I'm able to take control. It is you that shapes some of the circumstances you're actually in, believe it or not. That's because of how you perceive something. Something's happening to me right now. How I'm perceiving it will determine how I react to it. How my mind actually recognizes what I'm perceiving will determine what my emotional state is going to be. And then my thought patterns start to make up this thing about how I'm supposed to react, and then you react, which is one of the reasons why we say sometimes we got to think twice before we react, because that impulsive reaction can be emotional. And I learned this as well. Emotional reaction sometimes means that what you say becomes misconstrued. What you say doesn't get heard the way it's supposed to. To take the power of what you have in your mind and learn that how you shape your circumstances because of what you think, because of what you believe, because of what you feel, because of what you're assuming, because of what you sometimes just imagine is out there. You are trying to lead. And sometimes when you do it in the incorrect way, mostly almost like abusing that power that your mind has, then it misleads you. And that's when you have to learn to unlearn what you've been taught and what you've been trying to feed yourself. And that's the key. That's the key to unlocking that power of your mind. So one of the most important things I'm telling you about your power and your mind for today is that you have got to take care. Take care of what you are feeding and stimulating your brain with all the time. And you know what's the funny thing? We all doing it every moment of every day. Right now, you're listening to me. Do you know you're feeding your mind and your brain something? When my techs are busy trying to put everything together, and God knows how they do, Allah knows what they do and how they do what they do, right? But what they do, they're putting their mind and the power of their mind into play because they need to make sure you are hearing me correct. Whatever you are doing in every part of your day, you are feeding and stimulating your brain through that expansion of what your mind is absorbing. And the two of them, your mind and your brain, are really, really connected. And we need to see that that human brain and the mind, of course, that power of your mind, what an inspiration for you to grow you. What a means for you to learn about you. Your brain is the equivalent, I think, of okay, Kamal is very, very into tech and he's going to look at me funny. But I'm serious. The brain is like that equivalent of your human supercomputer, I think. You know, it's like this thing where everything you put in there, you know, either goes into this file or that file. But ultimately, you know what? Like the computer too will crash if there's too much of the wrong stuff, when it picks up a viral infection or whatever it may be on the computer lingo. But when you pick up too much of the negatives, what happens to your body? What happens to you? And then you sit and you say, why am I feeling like this? Is because you have now consumed so much into this master computer of yours and you're not unpacking it properly. So what you feed you determines what you put out of you. And that's the ultimate deal of why we are talking about your mind and your power of your mind. Inshallah, we're going to visit that marketplace right now with Brother Spoo, and you will stay tuned because when we come back, we're going to keep talking about how to unlock that power of your mind to become the best we can be, inshallah. So stay tuned.
Radio Al-Ansar.
From the heavens high above, you brought a message down with love. Through the messengers you chose to guide the hearts that only darkness know. It's love عن طريق الأنبياء يا رحمتك للعالمين يا رحمتك للعالمين. Every heart lost its way, found its path in what you gave. Through the words the prophet spoke, guiding hearts that only the darkness knows. عن طريق الأنبياء يا رحمتك للعالمين يا رحمتك للعالمين. أنت الرحمن أنت الرحيم أرسلت الهدى للعالمين للعالمين. أرسلت الهدى عن طريق يا رحمتك للعالمين يا رحمتك للعالمين يا رحمتك
Chaos and destruction in the Gaza Strip is beyond comprehension. Virtually everyone is displaced, hungry, and in urgent need of life-saving humanitarian support. The Al-Imdad Foundation has been working tirelessly to address the health, nutrition, and water needs of the population. Our hospital, water deliveries, and hot meal programs are made possible with your support. Your donation, big or small, is a lifeline for those in dire need. Help Gaza survive. Donate online at alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
Elevate your style with Al-Noor kurtas and fragrances from potent iced perfumes, exclusively available at Al-Ansar Shop. Visit us at 207 West Road or call 031-208-1601. Experience the best in fashion and perfumery. Al-Ansar Shop and elegance meets fragrance.
Next is Kickoff with Buddy Governor. Stay tuned.
اللهم انصر إخواننا المستضعفين على أرض فلسطين. اللهم انصر إخواننا المستضعفين على أرض فلسطين. اللهم حرر المسجد الأقصى من اليهود الغاصبين. اللهم انصر إخواننا المرابطين على أرض فلسطين. اللهم شد أسرهم وسدد رميهم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم الطف بإخواننا في كل مكان يذكر فيه اسمك يا أرحم الراحمين. استنصروك يا الله فانصرهم. اللهم ارحم الضعفاء والفقراء والمساكين والأيتام والنازحين والمشردين والأسرى يا أرحم الراحمين.
اللهم أنج المستضعفين من المسلمين في فلسطين. اللهم كن لهم عونا ونصيرا. اللهم كن لإخواننا المرابطين في المسجد الأقصى. اللهم كن لهم ولا تكن عليهم. اللهم فرج همهم، نفذ كربهم، داوي جرحاهم، عاف مبتلاهم، اشف مرضاهم، ارحم موتاهم، تقبل شهداءهم.
This and only this is Nightline. Nightline is the only program that allows you to listen to the opportunity to voice your opinion on any matter or any topic that concerns you. Also on Nightline, we interview the famous, the not so famous, and infamous. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Brother Muhammad Varyawa, and with me in the studio is Dr. Anwar Jiwa. Join us every Saturday night from 8:30 p.m. till 10:30 p.m. on Nightline, the program designed especially for you, the listener.
As school opens, School Matters, in partnership with Save Hyper and Radio Al Ansar, is calling you to help your child step into the new year with confidence. We're collecting school uniforms and school shoes, new or gently used, to support learners in need. Drop off your donations at Save Hyper 362 Victoria Road or at Radio Al Ansar 240 Ortman Road, Monday to Friday, 9:30 to 3 p.m. Let's come together, uplift our community, and make a real difference, one child at a time. School Matters, Save Hyper, and Radio Al Ansar, because education starts with dignity.
Hungry for a deal that hits the spot? Get the top duo deal. 2 large margarita pizzas plus 1 topping each for $1.99. Or go big or go home with the Bellissima duo deal. 2 large Bellissima pizzas for $2.69. Pure flavor perfection. And that's not all. The snack box combos are here. Your pizza boy's favorite pack to the ultimate munch box. Don't forget our daily lunch specials. Delicious, quick, and wallet friendly. Only at Pizza Boys. Taste that hits different. Pizza Boys, bring your va-va-voom to your slice of life. Find your nearest Pizza Boys near you. Pizza Boys, we don't cut corners.
Radio Al Ansar, 24/7, 365.
Up next is Kickoff with Buddy Governor. Stay tuned.
You are listening to a live broadcast from Radio Al Ansar, Pietermaritzburg, 105.6 FM.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to the BU4U Show with myself, Mehreen Mia, coming to you live from Pietermaritzburg on 105.6 FM. If you're in Durban and the surrounds, you're listening to us on 90.4 FM. And like I said before, wherever you are and you're live streaming through to us, we're extending a very warm and a huge welcome to you as well. Trusting that your day is going absolutely fantastically well and that you are enjoying the topic of the day, which is about your mind being your power. And you know what? Simply put, when your brain is working at its peak performance, then it allows you to be your best because it controls the balance of you. That means that you are automatically dealing with your mind being at its best as well. Now, there are a couple of influences on the brain that will shape how, for example, it will function or how you would actually develop you. You know, sometimes it can be genetic, but most importantly, one of the things I want to point out to you is your mind absorbs everything that you put in, right? So before we went for that beautiful break, we were talking about how your mind can actually be the superhuman computer, and what you put in and what you feed it is important. Likewise, what you tell yourself is also just as important. So when I'm talking that, I'm talking about this concept of self-talk. How you talk to yourself determines what registers in you about you. Your self-talk can become what becomes you. And that's what's key for us to realize, is how much of power you have with what you say to yourself, how much of power you have with what you eat, how much of power you have with how you take care of you. Because when you stop doing that, when you, for example, are taking so much of input that is negative around you, and it consumes you, and then it takes over you, then where is the room for you to take control of you? Because everything else is allowed to control you then. However, the power sits within you and your mind for you to be able to realize, you know what, this is outside of me. They are saying that about me. They are doing that against me, or they are doing that which I don't like, but they are doing it and it's not me. Therefore, how I speak to myself is how I'm teaching my brain, how I'm teaching my mind, and therefore my being to react to everything. So, life's experiences are one of those factors that will help you determine how to be best. And I always say this, and many other people that do, NLP work and CBT work, etc., like me, we will say this to you: your life's experiences become your best teachers. Your lessons of your life are your best teachers. Those lessons are what will help you and guide you. But if you take the lesson that you have just learned and you tell it to yourself in a very negative way, if you tell it to yourself to perceive it as something that is horrible, then how are you looking at it as a lesson? Lessons mean I take something positive and I move on. But if you feed it to yourself as something that's negative, how are you moving on positively? I'll give you an example. If, for example, we're in the studio right now and I walked in and there's something that I'm doing, and being my tech who's making everything possible, Kamal, and see something and he says that that's not right. If he says to me, Mehreen, your mic is actually not doing good, I need to put it in a different angle. When he comes to change that for me, should I take offense to that? Should I be offended that he is now, trying to alter something that I am finding comfort with? I might be comfortable with how it is right now. But if it's not coming across as something that he knows should be better, and he's trying to guide me with that, should I look at that and perceive that as something where he's actually trying to harm this? Should I look at that as something where he's trying to influence me badly? Is he complaining when he tells me I'm doing something wrong? Because he's not. His intention is to make it better. So when I, for example, look at something and I say, look, this is actually not going right, we need to take this away, we need to do ABC because it can be better. Am I complaining, or am I actually just pointing out something that's wrong which can be made better? How you perceive something becomes how you make it better. And sometimes when you start to perceive things for what it's not, you start to become what it's not. You start to see things more negatively than it is positive. And that shapes you. That creates more stress for you. And then what do you do after that? Guess who was in control of creating that stress level that heightened so much, and yet it didn't have to be, because it was just a simple task of Kamala saying, Mehreen, can you put your mic properly so that the listeners can hear you properly? All I had to do was just listen, because it was simple. But instead, if I go on, and if I make it even worse and it becomes all about me, then there's no possibility of me changing me. There's no possibility of me learning about me. There's no possibility of then you listening to me even better, because I'm not willing to learn. I'm not willing to change. I'm not willing to absorb that there might be something wrong that I can change. So likewise, how you perceive what's happening around you is key. How you talk to yourself about what's happening around you is key. How you taking the lessons from your life's experiences is key. And sometimes you may be listening to us right now and think that's easy for you to say, I'm in a very terrible space, for example, and I don't know how to even think straight anymore. I'm tired. This could be you. But again, remember, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only gives you what He knows you can handle. And the truth is that you can handle it. You can. Your resilience is already built inside you. The things that influence your actual response to what you're going through that's negative, that is in your control. Your mind is still in your control. Your thoughts are still in your control. How you're perceiving this is in your control. Know that what is within your control you can deal with. The balance, you sit on your musalla and say, Ya Allah, I'm leaving the balance unto you. Guide me with every step going forward. So remember, there's this tremendous tool of you taking control of you, and that is what is at your disposal. What keeps so many people from actually experiencing possibilities all the time is the barriers that we put up, the barriers that are there which are not supposed to even be there. And I gave you that example just now of where if I keep pointing out something is wrong somewhere, it's perceived as if I am wrong, or I'm complaining, or I'm finding fault. I'm not. I'm trying to say something about this because I want to make it better. How you perceive it is how you're going to make it out to be. And what can that be? That can either be detrimental or it can work, because then we're learning through it. Again, what is at your disposal is your power of your mind and your perception. And those barriers that we put up are also barriers that we put up. So who is actually responsible for the barriers that are there? We cannot allow the wreaking of havoc to happen inside us. Look around the world right now. We have got so much of pain. There's so much of hardship. There's so much of anguish. There's so much of crying and tears all about us. But if we can come together and say collectively, we don't want to wreak havoc inside us. Let us start with the peace within ourselves to be able to build peace around us. How beautiful will that be? And that starts by me understanding what about my mind is consuming me, where my peace within me is rattled. How? What about me in my belief system has been shifted, that my belief system is a questionable something for me right now? Your truth is your authenticity. You need to learn what about things in life? What skills do you need? What topics do you want to cover? What kind of right knowledge do you need? Because what keeps some people from learning is that you choose not to access, or you don't want to have access to different knowledge. You don't want more knowledge. Knowledge comes from experiences, not just books. Your experiences, to understand that somebody might be wrong, that you yourself might be wrong, that you need to keep learning. One person is never right all the time. You are never going to be Miss Perfect or Mr. Perfect. We all have to eat humble pie and realize that. So when people try to make us learn more things, we have to tap into, what am I learning? Do I want to learn more? Do I want to become better? Get the right knowledge. Words, if they're not true, they're meaningless. We can hear children say, oh, I read it in a book. Oh, but is it true really? Just because someone says it or writes it doesn't mean that it's true for you. So as a learner, for example, you might want to get the right knowledge, but not just information or somebody's opinion. It's your job to seek out information and knowledge, and then you have to still test it. You need to run it through your powerful mind to see, is it true? Does it resonate with me? Because it can be rightfully applied to your life or not. You need to decide that. Can I take what I'm now learning to make me better? Can I take what's been pointed out to make things better? Or am I taking it the wrong way? You need to weigh it, measure it, and understand, am I doing this for the right reasons? Am I saying it for the right reasons? Am I perceiving this? It's all about you, your power. Why? Because if you're passionate about you, and if you're like me and everybody else, we're passionate about learning, you really have the desire to learn, then you want to learn more about you first. Some people simply do not have that desire to learn, unfortunately. They can become lazy with trying to learn. They may not see that positive impact that learning can have on them. They have no passion inside them that drives them to learn. But become passionate about learning about you. When I speak about learning, many people might be saying, oh, you're talking about a book. We're talking about going to school. I'm talking about learning about you. Who else should take pleasure and have passion about learning about themselves other than you? Because you are the most powerful being for you. Your mind is your most powerful tool for you. So this is going to take some work. Remember that. It's not going to be where you listen to me now and all of a sudden everything's okay. To deal with this and to make sure your passion about learning helps your mind to grow and develops you, it's going to take work. But the only way that you can do this is to begin learning about things that have an important and immediate impact on you. So one of the things you can do for yourself right now is ask yourself, what right now is not working for you? And then why is it not working for you? What right now is working for you, and why is that working for you? When you do the pros and the cons about you do it honestly for you first. And then you start to work it through and say, but why is that not so powerful for me anymore? What has gone bad about that? When you learn about yourself, you're going to learn about how to interact about things later on. When you learn about how to interact with your family in a healthy way or your relationships in a better way, things get better. And that's going to inspire you. But the reason I'm saying this, though, is it starts with you. because you are your own powerhouse. Become passionate about you. Become passionate about learning about you. Become passionate about you, because when you do that, you're going to be unlocking that potential of your power of your mind, inshallah. We're going for another quick break, and inshallah we'll be back after this. So stay tuned.
तस्कीन में ढल जाते हैं जब कर्म होता है हालात बदल जाते हैं आका इसमें अहमद का वसीफा है हर एक गम का इलाज इसमें अहमद का वसीफा है हर एक गम का इलाज लाख खतरे हो इसी नाम से डर जाते हैं जब लिया नामे नबी मैंने दुआ से पहले हो गई मुझ पे अता मेरी खता से पहले लाख खतरे हो इसी नाम से डर जाते हैं ये नाम की काम बिगड़ने नहीं देता ये नाम कोई काम बिगड़ने नहीं देता ये नाम कोई काम बिगड़ने नहीं देता बिगड़े भी बना देता है बस नाम मोहम्मद लाख खतरे हो इसी नाम से डर जाते हैं सब आका कोई देखे तो सही उनकी दुहाई देकर कोई देखे तो सही उनकी दुहाई देकर इश्क सादिक हो तो इश्क सादिक हो तो पत्थर भी पिघल जाते हैं खुदाया इश्क मोहम्मद में वो मकाम इस बात में पहले नबी का नाम आए आपको काबर मकसूद ही मानो खालिद आपको काबर मकसूद ही मानो खालिद आपके दर पे सब आपके दर पे सब अरमान कर जाते हैं गम सभी राहतों तस्कीन में ढल जाते हैं जब जन्म होता है हालात बदल जाते हैं आका
Get ready to elevate your fitness game at First Fitness in Durban's Berea. With a spacious free weight area, award-winning equipment, and exclusive ladies-only parking and training level, we've got everything you need to crush your goals. Hit the ground running on our outdoor track or unleash your inner warrior in our MMA and boxing dungeon. Plus, enjoy high security and ample parking. And don't forget to refuel at our halal coffee and health restaurant for the best in coffees, smoothies, and healthy eats. Join us today and redefine your fitness journey. First Fitness, dare to be extraordinary.
Up next is Kickoff with Buddy Governor. Stay tuned.
At Radio Al Ansar, we value your feedback. If you have a broadcasting related complaint, please send it in writing to the head of the complaints committee. Be sure to include your full name, contact details, a clear explanation of the complaint, and any supporting documents. You can email your complaint to feedback@alansar.org.za. That's feedback@alansar.org.za. Or visit our administrative office at 207 West Road, Overport, Durban. Your voice matters to us.
اللهم انصر إخواننا المستضعفين على أرض فلسطين. اللهم انصر إخواننا المستضعفين على أرض فلسطين. اللهم حرر المسجد الأقصى من اليهود الغاصبين. اللهم انصر إخواننا المرابطين على أرض فلسطين. اللهم شد أزرهم وسدد رميهم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم الطف بإخواننا في كل مكان يذكر فيه اسمك يا أرحم الراحمين. استنصروك يا الله فانصرهم. اللهم ارحم الضعفاء والفقراء والمساكين والأيتام والنازحين والمشردين والأسرى يا أرحم الراحمين.
اللهم أنج المستضعفين من المسلمين في فلسطين. اللهم كن لهم عونا ونصيرا. اللهم كن لإخواننا المرابطين في المسجد الأقصى. اللهم كن لهم ولا تكن عليهم. اللهم فرج همهم، نفذ كربهم، داوي جرحاهم، عاف مبتلاهم، اشف مرضاهم، ارحم موتاهم، تقبل شهداءهم.
Your perfect companion, Radio Al Ansar. You are listening to a live broadcast from Radio Al Ansar, Pietermaritzburg, 105.6 FM.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to the BU4U Show with myself, Mehreen Mia, coming to you live from 105.6 FM in Pietermaritzburg. And if you're in Durban and surrounds, you're listening to us on 90.4 FM as well. Yep, we're coming to a close of a topic today that we spoke about regarding your mind and how it is your power. And you know what, inshallah, I'm hoping that every one of us learn, and I too learn. Remember this, we all learn together, inshallah, as we grow. But the one thing I'm going to leave you with is, when I spoke before the break, we spoke about how learning is so important. And I said to you, it's not just about a book, it's about learning about yourself. And so when I talk to learn, I'm talking about that hard work of studying. I'm talking about how to discipline yourself through that hard work of study. Because, you know, gaining knowledge is hard work, okay? But it takes a lifetime to actually master that. It's an ongoing discipline that's never, ever going to be complete. And I know this because this is me. It's I'm a lifelong learner. I think I'll keep learning until my demise. But inshallah, the continuous learning keeps growing me. So discipline yourself through that hard work of studying, because learning about you becomes your superpower. Learning about your mind and how you're adapting and conceiving and perceiving things that are happening becomes your superpower, and how to deal with things going forward. Because remember, we said your mind is your superpower. How you react is your superpower. That's all within your control. So learning is going to take a lot of work. Learning about you is also going to take a lot of work. Until, someone maybe comes up with a module that can plug into your mind and give you that constant access to different kinds of knowledge, you are literally on your own. And that takes work. It takes effort. It takes a discipline. The process of that learning is a long one, but yes, we can speed it up. We can speed up that process of reading, of listening, of reviewing, of repetition, of even applying the knowledge that we get, and those experiences that we have become our learning lessons. The outcomes become something we learn from. Even if it is something that's bad as an outcome, you learn from that and you readjust. You unlearn what you learned before, and then you relearn new things. It's my philosophy. So simply put, whatever takes time becomes your discipline. Slowly but surely, when you discipline yourself, you are going to gain that knowledge that you need to empower you from within. You're going to gain that knowledge to learn more and better things about you. And then you are in control. You're in control of your mind. You're in control of your reactions. You're in control of everything to do with you. because you have to take control of you. It's you. You are your superpower is you. Your reactions is your power. Your mind is that power and your tool. So you need to unlock that potential of your mind by learning. And learning is possible no matter what your age is. You are never too young or too old to learn. And I know this. I know this because I come from a mother who has been with books throughout my life. So I know that learning just never stops. Your mind was created to keep learning, and it has this huge capacity to do so. So don't diminish that. This week, for example, is starting right now. Make a commitment to unlock that potential of your superpower mind. Inshallah, this is what is it. It's about you. This show is about you. It's the BU4U show, so it's about you. Go do that for you. Think about what is it that you want to learn. Go start to learn something. Think about how can I commit to something that's going to make me reach my biggest potential. It doesn't have to be the big ones. It's the small steps. Okay. So that's what we're talking about today. Your mind, your power. I know I got to close. My brother here is looking at me and I know Spoo's going to be like, she needs to close. I'm going to close. I promise. Okay. Don't forget you got to stay tuned because there's amazing things coming up. Straight after me, you're listening to the fantastical brother Buddy Governor with Kickoff. And yeah, we all look forward to this man because you know why? Besides listening to him and all the stuff that he gives us, those nasheeds he plays, oh my word. And I'm certainly hoping that he's got the new one that I love, which is, okay, Spoo knows the name. I think it's This Dunya Breaks Me. That's one of my favorites that he plays on that show. So inshallah, brother, I'm quietly just putting in a small request, brother Buddy. But yeah, stay tuned for him. And then after him, you're going to listen to Sister Fatima Kareem. I think she's on Community Buzz. And you're going to stay tuned because right at the end of today, you listen to the amazing brother Muhammad Variewa. And he has Dr. Jiwa there and they with the Nightline program. Okay. So yep, stay tuned. Amazing things coming up, inshallah. And I will be with you again on PMB Connected Wednesday and BU4U Show on Saturday next week, inshallah. Thanks again to Kumalo and of course my brother Spoo there in Durban. Without them, you won't hear me. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa barik wa sallim. Astawdi'ullah dinaka wa amanataka wa khatima amalika. Ameen. Ya Rabbal Alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
جئت لنا خاتما للمرسلين بدر الدجى رحمة للعالمين أبا الزهراء كم أشتاق لنلتقي وأرى عينيك بالجنة تحلم بك الجمال والوفاء قد باح نور حار في الآفاق سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا رسول الله سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا رسول